What? Wrong life.
Hold on. You froze on me. Go. Go ahead.
Hi guys. So today we're gonna be making something for grown-ups, not for me.
Monty, can you tell everybody what you're going to be making today?
So I'm gonna be making. I don't know.
We're making black codfish.
Yeah.
Well, black codfish is good for you.
It is?
Yes. And it's so hot outside, we're eating light. So we're making black cod with a beet salad and a little paloma because I need a cocktail. It's been a week.
Oh my goodness. Look.
I hate coming out here every week and saying it's been a week, but every week it's a week.
It's been a
Are you
week.
ready, guys?
So because we're eating light, that was the topic of the show. I've been getting my fish at Whole Foods because it's sustainably caught, which means that they kind of catch things in their natural habitat and they have really good practices with the fish. So this is what black cod looks like.
Okay. I've never had black cod.
You know what we did have though? We grew up, I don't know about you, but we grew up drinking that cod liver oil.
Yes. That comes from the black cod. Okay.
Black cod and white cod, yeah. It has the cod liver oil.
Okay.
So you've got a lot of vitamin A, a lot of vitamin B, D, and omega-3s. It's got as much omega-3 fatty acids as a piece of salmon, wild-caught
Okay,
salmon.
guys. So I'm gonna show you Mommy's cup that says a bad word.
She wants to show my cup that says a bad word.
You guys can probably read it. I can't say the word, so just read it.
She can't say the bad word.
I love
It's the F word.
It's one of Mommy's favorite words.
It's the F word.
I'm going to sear this.
Okay.
I want it to get very crispy. So I've got my pan and I'm going to just slide it in the oven too. This fish is also has a very similar texture to halibut.
Okay.
It's very flaky.
Okay.
But it also has this like buttery richness. So when you're trying to eat a little lighter, a healthier, richer fish will give you that, you know, the feeling of fat.
Yes.
But good fat.
But good fat.
I'm gonna work on this pot.
No, you're going to, you know what you can do?
What?
Get your bowl and your whisk and you can whisk up a little salad dressing. Get the lemon.
Okay, I'll go get
She's going to make a little dressing for our salad.
Nice. Nice. I love it. So I'm going to be showing you how to make one of my favorite fish. It's called golden pompano. Golden pompano is typically, it's wild, anywhere between the Carolinas and all the way down to Brazil. Okay? And
Ooh,
so
yeah.
it's a mild fish. I'm actually going to hold it up so you guys can see what it looks like. And I normally keep the head on, but he must have misunderstood me and cut the head off.
Oh. Well, I'm going to go make the screen bigger while you're showing that.
Okay. So this is golden pompano, okay? And so it is a mild fish. It is, it has a bone like down the middle. And then so what I do is I eat from side to side. I eat off of this side, then I flip it over and eat off of the other side. And so I've cleaned it out. I've scored it a little bit on each side. And then I'm going to season it. And we're going to cook it in this cast iron skillet for a few minutes. And it's going to be great, y'all. And the thing about live fish, when you're buying a fish that whole fish from the fish market, there are things you want to look for. You want to make sure that the fins look good, that they look fleshy, that they're not discolored because they shouldn't be. And regardless of what people think, when you pick that fish up, that fish should not stink. Okay, if that fish has a really strong and not the fish smell, because it's going to naturally smell like what it's supposed to smell like. But if it has a rank fishy smell, leave that there. The other thing I always look for are the eyes.
If it's slimy, if the eyes are like foggy,
yes,
it's slimy.
Yes. Leave it there. Don't get that one because that fish, more than likely, there's something going on with it. And we are what we eat. So if you eat that fish and there's some sort of disease or something going on in that fish, guess what? You just put it into your body. So yeah, so it is, you don't find it a lot in Kansas City. I typically go to the Asian market in the city market to get it. And it's fairly, it's affordable. I think for two fish, I think I'd pay like $14 for two
that's
fish.
decent.
Right. And technically, really, this will feed at least three people because it's pretty meaty, but it's light. It's I love the flavor. It's a good fish.
And so I was gonna say too, I'm using grapeseed oil instead of olive oil because why waste that fat?
Right.
I want it to get nice and crispy.
Right.
So once I flip it over, because we're doing light because it's hot, off goes that burner, and into the oven it goes.
Okay.
Now she's making a citrus vinaigrette. So we've got orange, grapefruit and lemon juice.
Okay.
Some salt and pepper.
To mix it up, give it a little spice.
A little bit of honey. We're gonna put some honey in there. Squeeze it, stir.
So did you squeeze the juice of a half of a grapefruit, a whole grapefruit?
I used a quarter of a grapefruit and a whole lemon.
Okay.
And you want to make sure when you're making your own vinaigrette, you need to put the salt in with the acid so that the salt and pepper dissolve. If you put it in once you add the oil, then it just floats on the top of the vinaigrette. It doesn't really melt in there.
That would explain what happened to me the other night. Because when I tasted
a little bit more honey,
I was like, it needed some salt. And so, but I put the salt in after everything was all done. And I'm like, I could.
So if you're going to do it after, you want to get a finishing salt.
Okay. Got it.
So I put the honey in. It might thicken up a little bit, but then it'll get too liquid.
It does thicken up. You want to know why? It's called an emulsion. The honey makes an emulsion with the citrus. Good job. You're so smart.
Look at her. What happens when you are the daughter of a chef? You know things.
Right. She's like, it just thickens up. I was like, yes, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're going to use our olive oil. We're going to use our light, extra light olive oil for this one.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Not too much because you don't want this to be out.
So then the other thing I did was yesterday, I got my golden beets.
I love.
And I roasted them in the oven.
Yeah.
And then I made a pickling liquid with rice wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar, sugar, fresh ginger, garlic, and salt and pepper. And then I put them in this. So they've been dancing in here.
Wow.
All night.
Oh my goodness.
This is the best bowl because it has a little space so you can pour it into the container.
Yes. So she's got. You want to show them? Hold it up so they can see how it all whipped together.
Can you move me over?
Nice. Look at that.
So if you like it a little thicker, you could add Dijon mustard or.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Okay.
That's
Tommy, I always get pepper in my nose. We're gonna use one of our fancy plates.
Okay.
The other thing that I got to go on top, because we don't want to have croutons, but we want a little crunch. So since I did golden beets, I'm gonna use these dehydrated regular beets and dehydrated garlic, and I'll just crush those up on the top so that I'm still feeling like I'm getting a little bit of texture, so that everything on your plate is not just soft.
Right. I love it.
I had some candied pecans to go on here too, but I don't know what I did with them. This is what happens when you call yourself organizing your cabinets.
Yes.
Give me a little lean over,
You
guys.
put things up. Oh well, I don't know what I did with those candy pecans, but that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna put the beets on the plate. In the summertime, if I can get golden beets, I am all about it.
I love golden beets. I had some 2 weeks ago, golden and red, and I just roasted them and I just put them in salads and stuff like that. I try to eat them often because, I live with cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, which is
I was going to say, yep, beets are good for that.
They are. And for getting your iron level up, because my iron is just by nature because of the lymphoma. My iron level will have a tendency to go low, but I eat lots of beets to keep it up because I refuse to take iron tablets. I'm like, yeah, I'm not taking that. So I'm going to have to eat iron, and beets are an awesome source of iron. And they taste good.
So we're gonna
they really do. So we're going to add on top of this, I'm going to do, it's a Italian gorgonzola. So gorgonzola's in the blue cheese family. But I find it to be, it's like a little more aged, I think, than regular Maytag blue cheese.
It's a stronger cheese.
And it's a little harder, which when you have that sweet beet, I'm trying to balance out all that sweetness with something. So we're going to do gorgonzola.
Okay, so the salad gets
Taste.
And so then I've got some micro arugula that I'm going to use.
Okay.
Put that on, girl.
Look at
So
you.
I'm gonna set the dressing aside, like get the air.
We're eating lighter, Miss Sheila. Now listen. We messed up the first part of this virus, right?
Right.
Come on, Daddy's at the door for you.
Okay, bye guys.
So what do you tell everybody?
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Thank you for watching, and you'll see them all later.
See you guys next time.
So if you want to get started while I wait on the fish to finish.
I certainly will. So it's funny, I saw you use grapeseed oil, and guess what I have here? Grapeseed oil.
Yes.
So I'm going to start heating this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of switch stuff around so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put the fish kind of on top of here. And okay, here we go. Here's the fish. I got all my little goodies here. Okay, y'all. So I'm going to put a little glove on because I'm going to be all in this fish. So the first thing I'm going to do, after I clean the fish, I scored the fish and just patted it dry with a paper towel. Okay. And so I'm going to take a little grapeseed oil and I'm just going to put a little bit inside. Okay. So, and then I'm going to rub that all in there, rub it on the outside. Okay. And then I am going to use Whip Something Up TV's blackened seasoning. I absolutely love it, y'all. Shout out to my foodie friend Jelani in the Washington State area. I love this. So I'm going to put some of this inside and outside. Okay. So I'm just going to open the cavity of the fish up. Y'all see that? Okay. So we're just going to put that in there. And of course, we're going to put some all on the outside because we want that fish to have some flavor, y'all. Okay. So and I'm going to rub it in. I'm going to rub it in on the inside. Y'all see that? Okay. So they accidentally cut the head off for me. Normally, I keep the head on. Okay. And or when I do get the head cut off, I keep the head so that I can use it for fish stock, or fish soup, stuff like that. Let's make sure. And I'm going to use a little bit of more seasoning for the other side.
coffee. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so just kind of rub that in, y'all. Now we're going to stuff the fish, okay? So I am going to put a couple of orange slices inside. See, I just sliced the orange up. And then I'm going to put some chopped garlic. That's what I have here. So the chopped garlic I'm putting in there. And then I've got some fresh thyme. Shout out to Farming by Amber for my produce box. Y'all, if you're in Kansas City and you're looking for fresh produce, Amber, she can hook you up. So look her up on Instagram, Farming by Amber. So I'm going to put some fresh thyme in here. And I think it's ready, y'all. So now I'm just going to put it in this skillet.
Miss Sheila, we have a question.
Yes.
Lauren wants to know what you use your fish stock for.
So I use fish stock for soups, for like gumbo and creams and sauces. Yeah. So instead of, just, when you're starting like a soup, a lot of people start with water. Instead of using water, I make a fish stock. And so it gives it more flavor. Even like if I make shrimp and grits or something like that, if I didn't make the stock from the shrimp shells, I might have some fish head stock. I'm going to use that. And again, because it's going to give it some extra flavor. And so you're going to let the golden pompano cook. I got it in a cast iron skillet here, y'all. And you're going to let it cook about 4 minutes on each side, and then it's going to be done. And when I tell you it is fire, it is absolutely fire. And you can go down to if you're in Kansas City, you can go down to the Asian market, ask for golden pompano. But remember what we said, when you're shopping for fresh fish, what to look for, okay? Make sure those fins are looking good, and make sure the eyeballs are looking good, okay? If they're fatty and bloody and runny and pussy, you don't want that piece of fish, okay? So anyway, that's that. And so it's cooking up. And I see Chef Shanita just got her fish out of the oven.
Yes, girl.
Okay.
So I'm going to hold it up. I got my glove on.
There we go.
So they can kind of see.
Yes.
So for those who are just joining, I'm doing black cod.
Looks delicious. Uh-oh.
Am I back?
You're back.
Uh-oh. Yep.
I can see. Can you see us? Because I can see you. Cheers, y'all. So here I'm drinking a little sparkling water and with a little splash of Uncle Nearest whiskey, y'all. It's some good stuff. If you haven't tried Uncle Nearest, y'all might want to try it, okay? We're talking about all okay, it's doing its thing over there. Now you can also, a lot of times I will also cook the golden pompano on the grill and in a banana leaf. I'll wrap it up in a banana leaf and put it on the charcoal grill. Yummy, 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 yummy. That banana leaf, holds that moisture of the fish in, and it just intensifies the flavor. And when I tell you it explodes in your mouth with flavor, it explodes in your mouth with flavor, y'all. And it probably hasn't quite cooked 4 minutes, but we're going to give it a few. Let's see here.
I thought I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. Look, yeah.
You know how that goes. Okay, so I'm going to take my my beet chips. And I'm just going to crumble those up. If you felt like getting out another.
Where'd you get the dried beets at?
Sprouts.
Okay, yeah, I like Sprouts.
I've been trying to do better about where I shop.
Yeah.
And trying to eat a little healthier.
Yes.
Small changes, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, these garlic chips smell so good.
Now, how long did you leave the fish in the oven?
I left it in there for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I'll show you what it did. Once the fish just shrinks all the way up, then you know that it's prepared. And now you guys, because remember how big that piece of fish was?
Yes.
When I took it out. So now look at it. It's kind of shrunken.
It's much smaller. Yes, it is.
Yeah, and much smaller. So see?
Oh yeah, look at that.
And I just put the garlic on top of the fish so it will give it a nice flavor. I'm going to pat that grapeseed oil. You see, look at how it's just flaking off as I pick it up.
Oh,
It's
wow.
already ready to. So this is one of those fish where you really want to keep the skin on.
Okay.
Otherwise, it is going to fall apart.
Okay. And you know what I do, even though I don't eat the skin of the salmon or the trout, I cook it with the skin on, and then after it cools off, you know,
Take it off.
It just peels right off very easily. So for anybody out there who don't like the skin holds a lot of flavor. So cook it with the skin on and then peel that skin off.
Now, if you don't want the blue cheese, obviously just leave that off. Don't let that be a deterrent.
I'll take all of that.
Then I'm just going to put just about a tablespoon of this vinaigrette right on my greens. When you're using these microgreens, you want to dress them really last because they're so delicate.
Okay.
They will, they'll be wilted on you, girl.
Oh, wow.
In a second. So.
Okay.
That's how it all came out.
Oh my God, look at that. That looks beautiful.
Got your beets.
Yes, I love beets. I am going to get a platter for the fish when it gets done. I didn't bring a platter for the fish.
Get a platter. I'm going to make my paloma while you do that.
Okay, yes. And tell us what a paloma is.
I don't know. It's a tequila drink, but I happen to really enjoy it. So I'm doing some fresh grapefruit juice in here. Some fresh lime juice. I'm gonna add a little bit more grapefruit. A little bit of simple syrup. Then I'm using the Mean Mule agave liquor. This one. I don't want to make it too strong. I got to get up early in the morning. This is not a cocktail stir, but it works.
There you go.
Sometimes you got to use what you got, okay?
Look, it's like we're pretty creative and innovative people. So, you know, we know how to make it work with a little of nothing. I was always, you know, growing up, I was always amazed at how my mother was able to pull off what she pulled off when it came to meals and dinner and, you know, just taking care of us, you know, on her own.
Hey,
you know?
the queen of making $1 out of 15 cents.
Yes.
Okay? Then I'm going to add some of this grapefruit soda to it.
Ah, okay.
Little lime slice.
Okay. It looks.
I think it's kind of like a margarita type drink.
Okay.
Slice of grapefruit in there too. Why not?
And I love ruby red grapefruit and stuff in drinks. It just kind of does something. And then it's not real sweet.
With the paloma, you're supposed to salt it. So I always put a little bit of this finishing salt.
Okay.
Just on the top.
Nice.
So here we go.
She fancy, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, so refreshing.
Mm. Okay, let me step over here and see what my fish is doing.
Yes, let's check that fish out because I hear it sizzling away over there.
Yes, it is sizzling. Yep, it is ready to roll.
So do you garnish that with anything, or you just?
So I on the inside I put orange slices,
Okay.
fresh chopped garlic, and fresh thyme.
Okay.
And so here is kind of what it looks like.
Oh yeah, that looks so flaky.
It is. It's so good.
And then do you just serve it with like rice or a salad or?
So I'm actually, when we get all done, I'm gonna stir fry some collard greens.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm trying to keep it light. I'm not gonna have no potato or rice. So it's fish and stir fried collard greens.
Which is not bad. We could just do a little vegetable every now and then.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Did you taste your fish, Chef?
No, I didn't taste it yet because I got to take a picture.
Oh, look, I was just ready to tear into it.
Right. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go check and see if we have questions. So I'm going to switch to my other screen. So go ahead.
Okay. So we will post pictures in the stream so you all can see the dish that we made. I'm going to stir fry the collard greens and then put it all together so you can see what it looks like. And, it's quick, it's easy, it's light. And, it's like, hey, we have to, I'm going to live to be one of them 90-year-old spunky women. And so that means I really have to be very conscious of what I eat and the quality of the food that I eat. It's critical. Uh-oh, unmute yourself. We can't hear you, baby.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
So LaShawn wanted to know, did I sear it with the skin down? And so there's this concept called presentation side. And so you want to put the side that you're going to serve in the pan first. So I always do presentation side down with chicken breast, with anything. You want to put the presentation side down. So then I put the presentation side, which would be the flesh, in the skillet first, flip it over, and then put it in the oven. Even with when I do chicken, I do the same thing. So, and then she wanted to know from you as well, what's a good grilling fish?
Actually, the golden pompano is a great grilling fish because it's firm enough. It's going to hold in place. It's not going to fall apart. And this is a whole fish versus a fillet.
Right.
And so the golden pompano, red snapper is a great.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes. It's a great grilling fish. Yes.
Yeah. And you can do salmon, but lately I'm just tired of salmon. Like I just really don't want to eat that anymore. I'm over salmon. I have teriyaki it. I have
salmon,
pepper seared it. I have smoked it. I have slapped it up, flipped it, and rubbed it down. I'm done. I'm really, for the most part, done with salmon. I don't think I'm like, let's explore some different things. So if you can splurge, I suggest that you get very familiar. I know that people don't like the Asian market because it smells on the outside. It's because there's fresh fish in there. So get very
and it smells right.
The Asian market, if you're like me, don't take your 6-year-old because she's always like, oh, it stinks in here. I'm like, please be quiet.
Even my 13-year-old granddaughter, she's like, yeah, I'm going to stay home. You going to that Asian market? She's like, yeah, no, I'm not going in there, Gigi. It smells horrible.
Right. And then the second place I was going to say is Whole Foods. It's a little pricier because they are sustainably caught fish, but they always have a variety. And because it's sustainable, you're only going to find fish when it's in the natural season for harvesting that. So, yeah. So it'll be good for us. And I think that as people are always like, how do I start eating healthier? I just can't go vegan? And I was like, vegan or plant-based or vegetarian is not for everybody. It's surely not for me.
It's not for me.
City Market, but the wife said not within a mile. Hey, I don't blame her, because you got to really prepare yourself to go there, okay? I got to have my mind right. What I was going to say is that for sometimes it's just starting with like small changes with your diet, like eating healthier, cutting out processed foods, cutting out processed sugar. You know what I'm saying? Trying to cook as much of your food at home so you know what is in the ingredients.
Yeah.
You know what you're eating.
Yes.
All of that stuff are just tiny little ways that you can start to a healthier diet. Not everybody has to go vegan and start drinking sea moth smoothies. Sea moth is healthy for you, but I realize that is not for everyone. Yeah. So it's okay.
It is absolutely okay. And, one of the things I did, Chef, after my diagnosis, my daughter, and she just happened at that period of time, she had been probably a vegetarian for about a year and a half. Mm-hmm. So she came over and she went through my cupboards and she threw away anything in a can and a box. And she's like, you can't eat that stuff. You have to eat food that's living, because your body now is in crisis mode. And so you have to learn how to feed it that. And so I learned a lot from her, and I can't imagine without her, I probably would not have been as proactive about it.
Right.
Even like deli meat. She's like, you don't need to be eating all that, Mama. It has nitrates in it. She said, so if you want deli meat, get nitrate free. And so I started with just little things, stop eating stuff out of the can and stop eating stuff out of the box.
Right. Yeah. And too, I just have this whole mental thing about shelf stable meat. Something about that just in and of itself just makes me really uncomfortable. Right. Why is the chicken in the can?
Yeah.
Sit on the shelf for 6 months. When you say it out loud to yourself, you're like,
not so much.
Maybe I shouldn't be eating that chicken.
Right.
And I've tried it. It's just not good.
And you think about all the extra gunk they put in there to preserve it for that long.
And they already, when we talk about sustainability, the way that the major meat packing companies raise chicken in general is already strange. So then on top of that already strangeness, you're going to add nitrates and sodium and, all that to it. And then it's like,
yeah.
That's the other thing about sodium. That's another thing that I don't do is I don't do fat-free food because fat is flavor. So when they take out fat, they have to add something back to that to make it palatable. And typically it's sugar or salt. So you're better off maybe I could do a whole show on salad dressings, but I can make a lot of different things. And that's the thing, if I just made that with a little lemon, a little grapefruit juice, a little honey, and a little olive oil, and kosher salt and black pepper. And I give you a whole lot of flavor. And if you like something thicker, there's ways that you can achieve that with yogurt and mustard.
Yes.
But that are a lot healthier for you than maybe mayonnaise and So you can get a really good ranch, but you don't have to
get the store. Yes. I was going to ask you with damn it, I just lost my train of thought.
We were talking about salad dressing.
Salad dressing. So I made a salad dressing the other day, and I used just a balsamic vinegar and a lemon infused olive oil, and I put some fresh thyme in there. And I squeezed just a little bit of juice from an orange, just a little bit, not too much. And so, of course, you know, that I'm shaking it up and I'm like, something is missing. But you just told us that I should have put the salt in when I put the citrus in. So now I know how to do that.
Or the vinegar too. So when you're making a salad dressing, the order is your acid, your seasoning, then your sweet, whatever that is, and then the oil.
Okay.
And even when you add that honey in there, all that the salt will do, honey is a humectant, so it's gonna draw that salt right to it, because salt likes to draw out water. Honey likes to keep in water. So then the honey is gonna soak up the salt, and then the salt is not really gonna distribute through your product. So you want to put the acid, seasoning, whatever the sugar is. I typically use like honey or agave.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because in some applications, honey has its own flavor, and that's not kind of what you're going for. But agave is more neutral.
Yes.
But it's gonna add. It's just gonna. And all I'm doing is I'm just adding just enough to take that bite off of the acid.
Could you put that in the comments? Could you put that order? You know.
Oh yeah, sure.
So. So next time your girl try to make some homemade salad dressing, I'll know what I'm doing.
And even when you do like a ranch, I have never successfully been able to homemade make a ranch and eat it that day. I just can't. With a homemade ranch, it's got to sit overnight, because that salt and all of those ingredients have to like penetrate that sour cream or that yogurt or whatever it is that you're using, and open up all that flavor. And I've never, unless I make it like early in the day and I eat it late at night.
Okay.
But I've never been able to make a homemade ranch and eat it that day, and it doesn't taste like watery herbs. It's like, this just tastes like some old herby yogurt. It does not taste like ranch.
I love it. So, Chef Shanita, can you tell everybody like what you're going to be doing tomorrow? You've been doing this for a couple of weeks, and the viewers may not know. You know?
Yeah.
Tomorrow
we'll be doing our free produce boxes at the Urban League, and we did them today at Mount Carmel, which today was crazy because we got rid of all of our boxes in less than an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. So you just pull up in that back alley between the Urban League and the bus station. Open your trunk and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. We get you all taken care of.
Wow.
This is a project with the USDA and Canby Market and Liberty Fruit Company. So we've got 2 more weeks because that's what they got the grant for. But the USDA has put out a second round of granting that will take it all the way through the end of the year. And so I know like chefs all over the country who are doing it. My friend in Seattle, the way that they're using them is that they're getting like a whole truckload like of produce boxes.
Wow.
They've got a whole team of like chefs, and they're breaking down those boxes and then repurposing them into food that people can eat.
Yes.
So they're already cooked.
Wow.
They're up to like 10,000 meals, I think, that they're making.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yesterday, my friend who works at Liberty Fruit, she posted pictures because they were able to take 500 boxes to the Kickapoo, I think it's Kickapoo Indian Reservation. And I was like, why does the sky look so much better there? Because I'm looking at her picture and I'm looking out. I'm like, that sky does not look like my sky. It was just so much bluer. But, you know, there's a lot of people who, even though people have gone back to work, you still have to dig yourself out of that hole. And 12 weeks is a long time.
It is.
Get out of a hole.
That's a pretty big hole. That is a pretty big hole. Yeah. Chef, thank you so much, you know, for doing that. And every time you guys come to my property down here, Vine Street Manor,
we love coming there.
They're like, can you please make sure you tell them we said thank you? And when this is all over, when we can be a little closer and we don't have to continue to social distance, you know, we'll do some sort of little thank you reception.
Oh,
Yeah, they want to show their gratitude because they really, really appreciate it. It does a couple of things for them. First of all, it saves them money, okay, and you guys are bringing the produce right to them, so they don't have to leave their house. And it's those staples that they're going to use. It's onions, it's fruit, it's celery and potatoes and milk and eggs and things that, those staples that, that cost, and as senior citizens, they're living on and I know we all live on whether we work or retire, we still live on a fixed income. But theirs is so much more smaller that they're not in the workforce anymore.
And at some point, you're choosing between medicine
and eating. I see it every day, Shanita.
You're choosing between medication and food.
Yeah.
And I'm just it's like this whole COVID and then the protesting and the rioting. It really feels like it's opening up people's eyes to things that they have been able to just blissfully be unaware of just because. Yeah. And so it's the way that our seniors are treated. It's the way that because I'm always asking when I get to put a box in someone's car, I'm like, do you know someone that you can take a box to? Do you know an elderly person? What about your grandma? What about your aunt? What about your mom? Do that in the box. You should take it to them so that they don't have to come out. And that's the beautiful part of the way that the other companies are taking the meals, because a lot of those meals go to like seniors and homeless and children.
Yes. That's awesome. It really is. Kansas City has really pulled together to make that happen, and for those who are dealing with, and it's just, and in life, we never know what's going to happen, where we're going to be. And, and I always tell, especially the ladies, the senior citizen ladies, I'm like, look, I said, some young girls gonna have to take care of me like I take care of y'all. Okay. So it is a very rewarding, type of thing as well,
And a lot of people have never dealt with this before. A lot of people have never dealt with food insecurity before. They just neber have. And until people started reporting some of the grocery stores to the powers that be, some of those places at the very beginning of this were very much price gouging. I think I saw a post somewhere where they were charging like $4 or $5 for a dozen eggs when I know that I could go down the street to my Walmart and get them for 98 cents. Yeah. I'm like, come on, why are we doing that? Why are we doing that?
Exactly. Yes.
Why are we doing that?
I saw that too, Shanita. I'm like, oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, so it's been nice to see people get food, and the Thursdays and Fridays are kind of the highlight of my week, especially when everything is going on, and it's been so crazy. It's beautiful to do something, and girl, it's good exercise. I'm trying to get these arms together.
Oh my goodness, honey, let me tell you, my mother used to tell me this all the time, and I used to think, I ain't gonna have to worry about that. Why is she telling me all that? And she would say, you know what, keep it in check. Because when middle-age spread comes, you want to, if you keep it in check, when you're young, then when middle-age spread comes, you spread to a comfortable 10 or 12, okay?
Right.
Versus a 16, okay? So, but I'm working on it, because, it's way too
You know what, though? I've decided to stop thinking about the number. I was talking to like a male friend, and I was like, oh man, I'm wearing a size 10. He was like,
what's that?
I'm like, so you think that a man can look at you and be like, oh shoot, her, she got on a 10. He was like, good knows. I was like, okay, that's a good point. So it's always good to have male friends that you can bounce your foolishness off of. And no one even knows what that is. Like,
a 10 today is not a 10 years ago.
No.
It's much smaller. 10 today is probably more equivalent to about a 6 10 years ago.
Yeah. And I keep telling myself that Marilyn Monroe weighed like 150 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yes.
All those models and actresses back in the day that everybody fawns over were between like 150 and 175 pounds.
Absolutely.
Nobody was 119. That wasn't attractive back then. It wasn't like that. So I'm like, okay, 150, 175, that's a good place to be.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Chef, I always consider it an honor to share this space with you.
Yes, I love Thursdays. I love
too.
Thursdays. I love Thursdays.
Yeah.
So we will be back next week with something fun. We're going to try to keep it healthy, ladies and gentlemen. Summer is coming.
Summer's
and for real, it's too hot to be doing all this cooking.
And your girl's trying to get, my birthday is in a month.
Mine too. So I got to get it together.
Yes.
I want to act a fool for my 40th birthday, so I need to get this together.
As you should. As you should. And I'll be there to help you act a fool.
You sure will. But Facebook and Instagram will not.
No.
Party.
Not at all.
Well, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate cooking with you. We will post our pictures so that you guys can see them, and we will see you next Thursday.
Yes.
Bye.
Cheers.